Greg.
I apologize. I missed your introduction. I just turned the recording on. So anyway, I appreciate you all being here tonight. It's a Friday night, and that to me alone shows some dedication to learning some more information about what we're doing. And I don't take people's time lightly. It's the one commodity that we do not get to replenish. So once we spend time, we've spent it. So the fact that you're here tonight and sharing with us, I just want to let you all know that we very much appreciate the fact that you're here. So I'm going to jump right in. My name is Greg Cobb. I've been in Avini for about 5 months, and but I've been in the industry for, well, I'll just say a day or two. Um, we don't have to talk about that. But I've been around for a while. I've helped a lot of people. I love to build teams. I love to do it with products that change people's lives. And to me, health is the real wealth. And so it doesn't do you any good to have a bunch of money stuck in the bank. It doesn't do you any good to have a lavish lifestyle if you don't have your health. And so I very much, am passionate about this industry, and I'm passionate about wellness. And so what we're doing here really fits what I love to do in helping people and helping people with their health. And so I know that the quickest way to help people with their health and to share these products is to build a team. And so we're gonna talk primarily about business tonight. We do have a lot of resources that you can dive deep into products and learn more about the products that we have. But I just want to share a quick overview so that you guys can capture kind of what we're doing here and why I feel that it is so important. And a lot of the people that have joined us are just really excited about the ability to go out there and change people's lives. So I want to start tonight talking to you about what I feel is the greatest global health challenge of our time. And I don't say that lightly. There's a lot of challenges out there. There's a lot of things going on, but I truly believe that as we explore some of the information I'm going to share tonight, you're going to understand why I feel this way. But it is something that not very many people are talking about, the aspect of it that I'm going to share with you tonight. There's a lot of people that are very aware that heavy metal toxins are all around us. They're in the air, the water, even the food. And I don't care how healthy you eat, there's heavy metal toxins in that. And the thing of it is they're hiding in there. They're at low levels, but they do bioaccumulate in our bodies. And so we cannot escape them. And we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a few minutes. But they're everywhere, and we need to be doing something to take these back out of our systems. And so some of this stuff, you might even be seeing it in the news finally, but 100% of fast food samples tested positive for heavy metals, lead, and cadmium. I mean, that's pretty amazing. Now, that's not saying 100% of the fast food, but 100% of what they tested is a pretty high percentage. So I don't care if you get a few that don't have any, you're still dealing with a high percentage of stuff out there that's got these heavy metals in them. And so another thing that kind of surprised me when I first started looking at this was the fact that supplements, many of them have heavy metals in them. And so even when we think we're doing the right thing and taking our supplements and nourishing our body, in some cases we're putting contaminants in there as well. Another thing that shocked me is the pollutants that are in the umbilical cords of babies, and so we're getting toxins in our system even before we're born, and these toxins are creating all kinds of health challenges. And the key thing is that they bind to enzymes and they're disrupting normal cell metabolism, and quite frankly they're disrupting all kinds of things in the body. And so these are leading to people having more and more and more health challenges. And, most people are starting to recognize how sick we all seem to be getting, but nobody really knows exactly why. We're told that it's genetics, we're told that it's, different things. 31% of the people have cardiovascular risks. And that was quite startling. That's basically 1 in 3 when you start breaking these numbers down. 1 in 34 kids are on the autism spectrum. 1 in 5 people have chronic pain. And that's about 20%. That means about 20 out of every 100 people that you see are in some type of chronic pain. Not short-term pain. We're talking about chronic pain. And I'm not going to go through all these numbers. You can see them here on the screen for yourself. But this has been in the last 30 years. These are increases since 1990. And some of these numbers are staggering, like 10,000%, 11,000%. I mean, it's crazy what's going on with us. And because these toxins are everywhere, it's not getting any better anytime soon. But I don't want you to take just my word for it. I encourage everybody to do this. I encourage you to go do your own research. If you search for heavy metal toxins in any health challenge, I guarantee you're going to find more stuff than you want to read. You're going to have more stuff that you're going to be overwhelmed in some cases because there is such a correlation. Over 96% of all health challenges are linked to heavy metal toxins. And again, if you'll go do some of your own research, you'll find these things out. We're not making this stuff up. It's out there, and you can find it. But remember, we were talking about nutrition and supplements and things like that. And, you cannot out-nutrition a toxic body. One of the problems is these toxins prohibit, in a lot of cases, even when you're getting good nutrients, it's prohibiting your body from absorbing the nutrients. So you can be putting all kinds of good stuff in. And I'm not discouraging you to do that because it's a good thing to do. But we also want to be looking at, heavy metal toxins as well. And here's some more credibility for you. This book was written, I'm not going to tell you when it was written yet, but written by Sherry Rogers. She's an MD. She wrote this book called Detoxify or Die. So, if the internet, isn't enough to kind of prove something's going on here, this is an incredible book. She has kind of connected the dots that what I want to connect here tonight for you is not only are these heavy metal toxins out there, but they're seriously affecting our health. And she started connecting these dots. This book was written in 2002. So she has incredible, credentials. And it's a really good book. I have to be honest, I've only gotten about halfway through it, but I've been enamored with what's in there and the dots that she's connecting. But again, here tonight, that's what I want to do is I want to make you aware that these toxins aren't just around us, but they're actually interfering. And if you may not have issues yet, but if you don't start doing something about this exposure you're having, there's a good chance you're going to. And it's not just heavy metals. We got these forever chemicals, these VOCs, and even microplastics. And microplastics are even making a splash a lot in the news these days. And, I'm even seeing some stuff where some of these companies are trying to get rid of these forever chemicals. I'm even seeing people like make pots and pans, and they're talking about, these pots and pans don't have forever chemicals. So there's slowly starting to be a recognition of these things and that we need to do something about them. but again, I say this a couple times in here because it is so true. Because I tried to do it. I tried to out nutrition the issues that I was having, and I didn't realize that I was having heavy metal toxin issues. Um, and you cannot, whatever you do, you can't put enough good nutrition in to get rid of the toxins. You've got to help your body do that, and we've got a great solution for that. We've got Cell Defender, and it goes in there and it captures these toxins and it escorts them out of our body for us. And it's safe, effective. It's got clinical studies. It's an incredible product that everybody can and, in my opinion, should take. So I want to tell you just a little bit about our Cell Defender and why it's so unique. Rick Deitsch, he is really the category creator of Cell Defender. He created this years ago, and he sold over 8 million bottles since its beginning. This is a liquid suspended zeolite, and this is really important. This zeolite goes through a 34-step, 3-day process to micronize, clean, and activate it. And so our closest, I'll just tell you, you can go do your research. You can check out other zeolites out there that are on the marketplace. There are zeolites out there. The closest competitor processes their zeolite for 3 hours. Now, there must be something different going on for us to do it for 3 days versus them doing it for 3 hours. And so, I trust Rick. He's the one that actually discovered this and actually made it into a supplement form and started this micronization and activation process. And our product, even though there's other people that talk about clinical studies, in most cases, and I can't tell you that I know every case, but in most cases, they're referencing the clinical studies that we have on our product just because they have the zeolite with the clinoctilolite in it. And so, we've got the clinical studies, we've got the white papers that show that this product is effective and that it does what that we say it does. And so, and I love Rick's quote here. And this is what we believe, and this is what we teach. We don't treat, prevent, cure any disease. We merely get the bad stuff out of the way so that the body can fix itself. And so a cleaner, healthier body fixes itself. And so, Rick is just an incredible formulator. He is he remembers everything he's ever read. He's just his brain just is always going, and he's creating products that we have that are so different than everything else that's out there. And so I'm gonna, for some reason, I was gonna jump off of trying to jump off the screen share, but it's not letting me yet. I was going to pop back over. All right, we can just go ahead and jump in and share. So if you want to start, we've got a couple of testimonials. And right before we say that, though, I just want to reiterate what's on the screen. That we don't intend to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. And so, these statements haven't been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. And these are just personal testimonials that people are sharing. And so I just want to turn it over, and we'll get a couple of people in here to share and let you hear what's happening for other people. So go ahead, Diane.
Okay. All right. Well, I can't see the screen, but I'll just trust it. And again, I'll introduce myself again. My name is Diane Dowdy. Right now, I'm in Northern Virginia, where we are having some pretty wild storms. But anyway, just very blessed to be here. And about a month ago, thank goodness a friend of mine reached out to me to tell me about a zeolite product. And I'd always known that that was something really good back when I was helping my mom when she was very sick and back in 2009, but I didn't know how to get it and I didn't know enough about it. So I was so happy she reached out to me because it's kind of like a God incident because I was in a health crisis. And so that made me really take a look at it because I was doing all my go-tos, all my nutritionals, alternative stuff, and I eat clean, organic. I've been doing that because I have chronic Lyme disease diagnosed in 2000. And I always had to be ahead of that, or I could get into a very bad Lyme flare. Well, now from the stress of my job, I was in a bad Lyme flare. I was at the ER. I thought I was having a heart attack. And they, of course, they ruled that out, but it made me see that the Lyme disease was flaring up and it was attacking my heart. So I was able to talk to the person who sponsored me and talk to some other people, very much like Greg, that were so helpful and really kind of explained the cell defender and then getting those toxins out. It's not like, okay, this is the magic bullet that's going to cure everything you have. No, what it does is it gets all those heavy metals, those toxic stuff that we're just exposed to on a daily basis, which does clog up the immune system. So once you naturally get rid of that, your body can respond and respond beautifully to the nutritionals I'm taking. And I thought, you know what? That makes sense. It's the only thing I'm not doing. So I went on this product and very fast I saw the difference. And I was so impressed with feeling so much better. And it was so easy and it was so natural. And I mean, feeling sick all the time it just it's almost like a way of life, and then when you have the good days you're so thankful, but this took it to another level, like my old self, a good old friend, has returned, and that was simply getting rid of the toxins, cleaning the liver, cleaning the system with that zeolite that is proven to do what it's supposed to do. And I'm living proof. I am so thankful that I resigned from my day job because I wanted to lock arms with Avini. People need to know about this. And I am just as passionate as Greg is about sharing it and just like a living testimony on how that works. And just again, just thanking God and feel very blessed for these results and want to also encourage that hope with everybody as well.
I appreciate that, and that's such a great testimony. I agree with you. It's just such a blessing to come across products like this that you're helping people. So I'm gonna ask Lisa. I think she was having some storm issues and stuff, but we're gonna try to get her to jump on here and share her story real quick.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We'll see. The power comes and goes. So, um,
We'll
so
say
not
it real
only do
fast
I
then. No, I'm
have,
just kidding.
well, I have my own testimony, but I also have testimony of my parents. And then I just recently, a good friend of mine that I was able to get started on the drops has he's got an incredible testimony as well. But let me start with myself. And I am Lisa Greer. I'm in North Carolina. And I was introduced to the product by my friend Rhonda back in February. And she introduced me to it because I was having such terrible effects from having COVID. And I was one of the people that unfortunately did take the vaccine. I wish I had not, but due to that, it created some unexpected health issues for myself. I ended up with high blood pressure, which I had never had. Um, and then I also was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid autoimmune disease. And after going on the Cell Defender, because I was suffering with extreme fatigue, I was just tired all the time. I felt like I couldn't get enough sleep. Brain fog was terrible. Um, I couldn't sleep at night. Um, Part of the time I was so tired, I wanted to sleep, but I couldn't. Um, just could not focus on anything. My joints hurt. My hair started falling out. Um, so when I was having this conversation with Rhonda, she said, "You have got to get this stuff out of your body." So, like I said, I started the Cell Defender, and I started seeing results right away. One of the issues that I did find that create a lot of problems with the Hashimoto's was also dry eyes. Um, I'm seeing a big difference in my eyes just in the last month. I'm not wearing my glasses all the time now. I was having to use eye drops constantly all throughout the day. I haven't used eye drops in almost 2 months. Um, so my energy, I feel like, honestly, like I did years ago, my energy is back to where it used to be. I sleep incredible. Brain fog is gone. My joints don't hurt. My hair is coming back. Um, but my parents had also suffered from having COVID. My dad had COVID 4 times. My mom had it once. But mom was suffering with severe anxiety and migraines since she had COVID. My dad had gotten to the point his memory was really being affected, and he was having some back issues, a lot of joint problems, just severe pain. Um, he the brain fog was terrible, and it had gotten so bad that he had mentioned to me a couple of times. He said, I really think something's happening to me because I just can't remember things." Um, my dad had aged. He was not himself. He was really getting depressed. So I started the both of them on the drops, on the Cell Defender. Immediately after my mom started the drops, her headache stopped within 30 minutes. My mom had had a migraine for 3 weeks. She had tried everything. Nothing seemed to phase it. But 30 minutes after taking the Cell Defender, her migraine was gone. Within 3 hours, her anxiety was completely gone, and nothing had phased her anxiety. She had tried multiple things, different types of medications, nothing. Even up to, currently now, she still has no anxiety. She's had no migraines. My dad, my dad is like a different person. He looks 20 years younger. He's moving like he did 10 or 15 years ago. He still has some back pain, but nothing like it was. The color in his skin has even changed. He had gotten like a really gray color in his face. He has beautiful skin color now. He looks so healthy, and everywhere he goes, people are asking him, "What are you doing? Because you look incredible. You look the best I've seen you in so many years." So mom and dad are really singing the praises of Cell Defender, and I'm so grateful for that. Um, I also have another friend, and he's actually on the call. Um, Gordy, he's actually on the call tonight, but I started him on the drops. I think he's been on about 2 weeks now, and he was suffering. He had some blood pressure issues. Um, his blood pressure was always really low in the morning, and he was on several different medications. He also was suffering from tremors, and since being on the Cell Defender, his tremors are so much better. His blood pressure is back to a normal reading. Um, he's feeling great. He's told me that he has more energy than he's had in years. So we're just singing praises about that too. I'm so grateful to be hearing all the testimonials, and that's I'm just I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful every single day that we were brought this information, and um, that we have this product that Rick created, because it is helping thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And it is just like what you said, Greg. it's cleaning the garbage up in our bodies and getting rid of the heavy metals and the toxins and the microplastics so that our bodies can then heal itself. And we are blessed. We are just so blessed.
Yep, for sure. Well, appreciate that, Lisa. And I think we got one more person's going to jump in here and share, if I'm not mistaken. Gayla, were you gonna share tonight?
Yes. Yeah, and I tried this once before. We needed a router and it was real glitchy, but yeah, and I have to sing the praises of the Cell Defender as well. I think that's kind of the basis for everything. And to get too sciencey here, but it's I have two boys that have a very rare disorder with muscles and stuff, and I think of the mitochondria. Our toxins and stuff get in the center there, and it traps, and the good stuff gets trapped in there, so it doesn't get out and get through our body. I have probably feel like this is the first time ever, and I'm kind of like Diane. I went natural, did everything right, and it's kind of like I feel like when I seen that science picture explaining how everything's getting inside those cells and they're just storing up all those toxins and even drawing in the good stuff, so we're not even absorbing our good stuff. We're taking it in and we're spending this money and we're eating right and we're doing everything we can. But it's getting trapped too. It's not getting in our cells and in our system. Since being on Cell Defender, I feel like I've got 60 years of toxins I got to clean up. I'm so excited to see a year from now how much I've changed, because sometimes when I talk to people, I always say I'm on a hot mess because I got so many different issues going on. I've got a spot by my aorta that I've had for several years, accidentally found, and I was having so much trouble last year, and I couldn't. I had a cough for like 8 months, and so when I went to see my specialist, I was like, I think we need to look at that. Something's not right. Okay, let's do another. We'll take a look at it. He doesn't like to get aggressive. He's really cautious about putting too much radiation in me, and I appreciate that. But he did that scan, and it showed, yeah, it's not growing. It's still there, but it's by my aorta, so it's not really a surgery spot. Not that I would even want him to touch it in that area. But it also is now showing I got these little nodules at the tops of my lungs. And that's kind of a new development. And I'm like, okay. And he did nothing. And I was like, I'm feeling terrible. So I called. When they called to Tom the Reels, I said, well, what about this cough? Is that all these nodules and things? His only response was, yeah, we'll look at it again in a year. And I thought, I'm feeling terrible. I'm going down. I haven't got a year to wait for something to grow or for those nodules to grow, or I don't know what they are. Maybe they're not, but I will say, since being on Cell Defender, and I started with Cell Defender and the cardio care, I also had an intermittent AFib I was struggling with. Is it there? Maybe, but it's controlled. So I don't know if he will even scan at my next appointment in the fall to check that, because he doesn't like to scan every year. But I can tell internally that I have no issue with that cough since being on Cell Defender. My AFib is, I guess, controlled or gone. There's just so much internally that I feel finally like I'm breaking through that wall, and things are all the stuff I'm doing is actually getting absorbed and getting in my cells. And I just, it's like you said, a healthy body will heal itself. And I had actually, when I had Rhonda, a friend of mine, same friend, had contacted me, I was on a Zeolite product because me and my daughter had been researching it and said, let's try this one. But I can tell you, I don't even know how long I'd been on it. And I dug into this when they sent it to me and researched into this, and was like, okay, I'm gonna just stop taking it and I'm gonna switch. The changes I seen with the Cell Defender were so fast. The other stuff was 2 different bottles. I don't know if I was seeing anything, but between Cell Defender and Cart, and I have to mention, I recently had knee surgery. One of those silly moves where I actually, on my good knee, ripped a meniscus. So I went through all that. That pain relief stuff, you think Cell Defender is a powerhouse? That pain relief stuff, I took it, I rubbed it, I did the sprays, and I rubbed it on my knee the morning of surgery. and is right after surgery. And they gave me these narcotics. And when I went for my checkup, they talked to me about the pain if the pills. I said, I'm not using them. Taking any of? No, I haven't taken one pill since surgery. Why? Because I haven't needed it. I'm taking that pain relief, that gel, and that stuff is. I'm telling you, you hear people say, well, you put that on in 20 minutes, Rick says, they're going to feel relief. That is so true. And if you do the sprays, I've got joint issues, all kind of diagnoses and things that's going on with that, but that spray, and I've got a few things I found naturally that I thought were great until I got on the pain relief. That stuff is amazing.
Well, I appreciate that. And, we have so many incredible products that are producing, incredible results for people because we're getting the trash out of the way. And, when you get the garbage out, then your body, again, it can heal itself. We're not saying that these products, mitigate any diseases. What we are saying is get the trash out, get the toxins out of your body and see what your body does. You will be amazed at what your body can do if it's not inhibited from performing because of heavy metal toxins that are in your system. So I appreciate you.
I wanted to add to Marcella.
Oh, absolutely.
Marcella was on here one night and I was listening to her and she was talking about, I think it was the hormonal things that it affects. And at the time, I was having trouble with my arm. I couldn't move my arm to the left. I couldn't pick up a glass. It was just gradually getting worse. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, and then I was hearing these reports that shoulder replacement is in women is higher than it is in men. It's like because of their office jobs and these things that we do. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I did not realize until I heard Marcella that night that pain was gone. I have no trouble stretching my arm. I didn't even realize it until she said that had helped her. And I'm like, oh my goodness, mine's gone. And I didn't even realize it until she had said that.
Yep, absolutely. Well, appreciate you coming on here and sharing tonight. I just want to go over a couple of things real quick, and then we're going to wrap up.
Greg, you're muted. Are you talking?
I'm talking to myself. I'm talking up a storm over here. Nobody's hearing me. I've said some really important stuff, probably the most important stuff I've said all night. I'm just kidding. But okay, are you seeing my screen share now? Just checking.
Yes.
Or did I not get that far? I started to do it. But...
Says Wyavini Health.
Yeah, there we go. All right. So I just want to go over a couple things real quick. And these are things that are really important to me. These are things that I look at anytime that I'm, evaluating a business. And one of the things I want to say is, one of the greatest health challenges is going to present one of the greatest opportunities to help other people. We do have a solution. We have the best solution for getting these heavy metal toxins and microplastics and all that stuff out of your body. And so we do have the best solution out there. And I believe that creates the greatest opportunity for us to help other people. The timing of this couldn't be better. A lot of this stuff is starting to come out and be headlines and things. And so, and a lot of people are aware that things are going on, but not a lot of people are connecting the dot that I wanted to connect tonight. And that is how much these things are affecting our health. And so the timing is great. It's an easy conversation. Most people, when you talk to them about heavy metal toxins, they understand the conversation and they jump right in. And many of them are looking for solutions. They just don't know where to look. And that's where we come in. That's our job, is to share these solutions with them. The leadership here is great. both in the field and corporately. You can get help from anybody. We can get people on Zooms, all the way up to Neil, the CEO, Doug Dickey. He's on Zooms all the time helping people. Doug is a co-founder of Avini, and all through the field leadership as well. And this is not a company where somebody doesn't want to help you. I've been in those companies where everybody just kind of, well, I don't make any money by helping you, so I'm not going to help you. That's not the case here. Everybody is focused on getting these products out to people so that we can share these remarkable health benefits that we're getting by getting rid of these toxins out of our body. So you're gonna have the ability to get help all the way up and down the ladder. And other thing that's really important to me is so many companies, they are selling somebody else's product. Somebody else is warehousing it for them. Somebody else is, putting it together and formulating it. They've put together a company, but it's kind of piecemeal. Here, we own the entire process from the time the raw materials hit the lab all the way through manufacturing, the formulations. Rick has complete and total control over the formulations, and until the product shipped out the door to come to your door. And so that's really important. They can control costs that way. They don't have to worry about somebody going, hey, you know what, this is really taking off. I'm not making enough money for my part in this, and we need to do something about it. And then, so there's a lot of huge advantages to having the entire process under your roof and under your control. And then the last thing, it kind of ties into leadership a little bit, but we have an incredible community of people that just want to help people. And that's the kind of company I want to be part of. I want to be part of a growing team, whether they're specifically on my team or not. I want to be part of a company who is just really focused on getting these products in the people's hands that are praying for them every night. They may not be praying exactly for this product, but they're praying for hope. They're praying for solutions. And it's great to be part of a community like that. So the last thing I want to talk to you a little bit about here is, how do you want to start detoxifying? If you want to learn more, we can help you out. Just get back to the person that shared this with you. Let's get on the phone. Let's get answers. Let's get whatever you're looking for, whatever you need to make the decision. This isn't an arm twisting thing. This is merely just sharing information with you and seeing if this is a fit for you and see if this is what you want to do. And so that's all that is. There's nothing to, we don't pressure people. We don't have to. People see what we're doing. They resonate with it and they jump in. Either as one of the two things we're going to talk about next, either as a retail customer, and we do have a 15% points reward for our retail customers that are on an auto ship, so they can build up points every month just because they're a loyal customer. And these points are dollar for dollar, and they can save them up for as long as they want to. The only thing they pay when they redeem the points is shipping. And then we've got the wholesale distributor piece of it, where you jump in, you want to be part of a team, you want to grow a business, or you don't have to build a team. If you just become a wholesale distributor and you just want to retail products, some people have their own, wellness store, or whatever. They have a different distribution channel, and maybe they're doing a podcast or whatever, and they don't want to build a team, but they just want to retail the products. And so there's ways for people to do that, as well as the people that want to build a team. And if you want to jump in and build a team, we're here to help you, coach you, train you, help you out in every way that we can to be successful. And so that's about all I have for tonight. I appreciate you all being here.